Good morning, students. This is Veena, Assistant Professor in the Department of English, Institute of Aeronautical Engineer. Today, we are going to discuss the topic how to read your textbook more efficiently. This is the topic which covers in your module 4 of reading skills. I repeat the topic, how to read your textbooks more efficiently. This is the most important aspect many students face problem in. You don't know how to handle your textbook. How is that you're going to explore your textbook? Also have a technique. You just don't go reading of pages and pages. That will not make you read it efficiently. So there are certain tips which will help you to read efficiently, to read your textbook more efficiently. So today, in a very clear and in a very effective manner, we will try to learn how to read your textbook more efficiently. Let us get started. Here, reading skill. First, let us understand what reading skill is. It is the skill, it is the ability that pertains to the person's capacity to read, to understand, to analyze, to comprehend, isn't it? So, it makes you understand the text. That is the skill which you have to equip with to understand that particular text, whatever you are reading, and try to analyze it, interpret it, and use it. Okay, reading skill is the document. Reading skill is the ability which will help you to read the documents effectively and also makes you decode the meaning from that particular text and make it understand, analyze and interpret for the further use of your text. Now, exceptional reading skills can be highly beneficial, assimilating and responding to written communications. So, when you do reading, it will help you in your written communication while writing your letters, while writing any kind of documental works, while writing any kind of research works or articles or essays. All these is depend on the reading skill habit what you are having while writing all the entities, all the characteristics which you have enabled, which you have molded yourself to read the language will be portrayed in your writing skill. So, reading skill is the most important thing to enhance your writing skill more and more better. So, they are interconnected. You have to try to make expertise, learn expertise over the reading skill such that both your reading and writing skills will make you more efficient in learning your language as well as in making your communication more and more better. Now, how to read your textbook more efficiently? What is the role of the textbooks in gaining knowledge? What is the role of the textbook in making you acknowledge and provide information which caters the needs of your course requirements? So, let us try to understand very clearly what are those tips which will make you enable to read your textbooks more efficiently. Let us see now. Reading textbooks can be tedious and difficult, isn't it? We all feel tired and bored to read our textbooks. We don't like to touch them. We just skip the information. We try to just scan the information. We don't try to read every letter, every sentence, every paragraph which is given in our textbook. Because we feel it is a tedious job. It is a hard job. It is very, very tough to spend time with textbooks, hours and hours reading each and every line. Isn't it? Now, but they contain many features designed to help you learn. Now, there is a problem. If you are not giving time to your textbooks, you may lose that information. You may be not aware of that information, which is very, very important to you in developing your communication, in developing your professional entities, in developing the knowledge and in the expansion of your knowledge towards the courses what you are trying to learn and get expertise over. Now what is the solution? If you're not reading the textbooks, you're not going to gain all that expandable knowledge about your courses, which is very, very important. But on the other side, you feel tedious, you feel bored, you don't have time, you feel that it is just a waste of time to spending hours sitting and reading each and every word of your textbooks. Now, what is the solution for this? Let us see. Textbooks contains numerous features that you don't always encounter in novels, articles or other types of text. Now there is again a problem here. Many children, many students, they try to read novels. They have the habit of reading enormous books, articles and novels, but not textbooks. We don't touch our textbooks. We will love to read novels, we will love to read stories or any other thing, but except textbooks. Because we have that notion that textbook will not entertain us. Isn't it? We are going to read something which will entertain us. As a student, that is the first criteria. You will see that it is not boring. So, how to make reading entertaining? Reading your textbooks is the important thing. But reading novels or reading articles outside, will they fetch your need to have the information of your course? No, they are just for the sake of entertainment. They will make you relax. But on the other side, textbooks are the major entities which will help you and expand your information about your course and also prepare you for further gaining knowledge about all the other elements. Now, this is the problem. You must have the habit of reading your textbooks efficiently for expanding your knowledge, for gaining proper information about your courses, for rendering all the needs of your professional entities. Now let us see how is that we are going to practice reading textbooks efficiently. Now, textbooks are unique. Before having any conclusion about the textbooks, always remember this point that textbooks are unique. How much ever course material you find through internet or any other books, any additional information from any place will not be as equal as the textbook. Your textbook has all those elements, all those logical steps, all those sequential order of information which is needed to your course. That is the reason textbooks are unique. That is the reason textbooks are prescribed to every particular course. It cannot be any textbook. No, we will just decide the syllabus. We will plan a curriculum, decide the syllabus and ask you to explore from anywhere. Now it is a global scenario. You can find information through internet of information in any open corner. You can gain the information about your syllabus topics and just read it. But why? Why we are specifically prescribing or making you understand that textbook reading is the most important aspect? Because textbooks play the role of uniqueness. They provide all that information very specifically. They will not take you out of that zone. They will make you stand in the zone where you have to stand, where you have to start your path to move towards and understand, acquire knowledge and interpret the things happening around you to attain the needs of your course. That is the reason textbooks play a major role in attaining the needs of your course. Okay, that is the reason we call them unique. They are different from all other additional information which you take to fulfill your courses. Yes, this will help you to have better purpose and focus. Two major important things will be addressed through your textbooks are they will attain your purpose and they will show the focus on the particular information which is needed for your course enabling. So, it gives you a purpose, it makes you focus on the relevant information which has to be learnt through that particular course. So, that is the reason before you start reading textbooks, don't have that notion of boredom or thinking that it is waste of time. Only think that textbooks are unique. They will fetch proper purpose and they will make you understand the focus towards your course. Now, how to read your textbook more efficiently? What are the strategies? Now, first one, active reading strategies. We will one by one see what are the active reading strategies which will help you to read your textbooks efficiently. First, active reading strategies are ones in which you force your brain to actually do something. What is that something? Something effective and research based. Okay? That is, you are making your brain trained saying that whatever I am going to read is something more effective and is useful to me in the research area. So, actively, you are training your brain saying that whatever you are reading is very, very helpful to you. That is the reason you tend to start this reading activity. So, train yourself. Understand, make yourself such that you will gain interest over the reading. Now, strategies before you read. Now, what are those strategies you have to try to inculcate before you start reading your textbook? First one, preview. Now, understand this word preview. Preview. View is the scene, the scenario, the picture, isn't it? Preview. Pre means first, before. Preview. That is, you must try to do the preview of the textbook before you start reading it. Have the preview. Try to understand what are all the elements which are composed in your textbook. At what point of time they have started with. How is that the textbook is enabling you to move further in attaining the needs of your course. What is that logical order? So, try to acquire that preview of your textbook. Now, look through the text features in the chapter. Now, one by one, go into the chapter. Don't just start reading. Try to read the headlines. What are those first two headlines which is giving information about that particular chapter? Try to understand the titles. What are the side headings or the titles which are involved in that particular reading context of the chapter? Then graphs, then bold words. So in some places, to grasp our attention, the writer would have bolded the words or the headings. So, try to have a look over all the entities which are of the title words or the graphs or the diagrams or any other bold written words, such that you will get a preview of the chapter. You will understand on what the writer is going to talk in that particular chapter. What is that overall information which you are going to gain through that chapter? So this preview, the notion of understanding the preview is you will have an idea when you start reading. That idea will lead towards interest in reading that particular chapter. So try to do this exercise. Try to follow this strategy. Before you start reading, try to have a gist of it through the preview of that particular text. Next, Pay special attention to these features when previewing your textbook. Now, what are those features which we will focus on while previewing your textbooks? Now, what is that first one? Titles, headings and subtitles. Focus on the titles, focus on the headings and the subtitles of the text, whatever you are reading in that particular chapter. Next, illustrations, graphs, charts and visuals. I repeat, illustrations, graphs, charts and visuals. Illustrations are examples which are provided to you while you are reading the chapter. Then graphs, then charts and then visuals. Next comes vocabulary list and glossaries. Vocabulary list is the words, new words which will be given in the downwards of that particular page. Vocabulary list and glossaries, that is the number of elements, the number of pages, the new words used, the terms which are defined. All these things will be helpful to you in previewing your textbooks efficiently. Next, end of the chapter summaries and introductions. Introductions and summaries, these two provide the main idea of what you are going to read in that particular chapter or in that particular textbook. So, have a look over the headings, titles, visuals, graphs, illustration, just as just to entertain yourself or relax. Just when take a textbook and just overview it. Just preview it. See the pictures in it. Try to see the examples. Try to read those bold quoted words or subtitles. This will make you feel interested in reading that particular text. Next, review questions and practice problems. If it is mathematics, if it is chemistry or physics, any kind of statistical course, you will have this. You will have to practice the sums. You will have to use the review questions. All this, have a look over them. Next, special interest boxes and notes in margin. Sometimes they'll be provided a special note in a box like this. They'll make a box and they'll give a note and there will be a colon there. So, here try to understand that box which they have specifically mentioned. So, then bold words. These are all the elements which will help you to preview your textbook such that you will have an idea of your reading that particular chapter. Next, get to know your digital reading platform. As this is the global technological scientific advancements happening all over us and we are in that generation which is completely fast paced and no one will stop for anyone where it is completely digitalized. So now for you to the newer generation, try to understand your digital platform, digital reading platforms. Try to create that awareness over those platforms such that your reading skills will be improved. This will surely be an effective strategy for you younger generations to develop good reading habits. Now, digital or e-textbooks may have some additional features. They'll have some additional features which will make you feel interested in that. Okay, holding a book in your hand, a hard copy may be a tedious job. You could not weigh the textbook in the hand. Then go. You have one more choice, that is digital e-reading, e-textbooks. You can use e-textbooks to practice your reading habit of textbooks. Okay, getting to know the structure of your e-textbook and seeing how page or section navigation works. So, you can just scroll, you can just move to the page whatever you want in a second. So, maybe you will like it. So, try this strategy. Try to understand the e-textbooks through the digital platforms. Then, begin at the end. This is one of the most important element which will surely help you. That is, read the summary. Before you start reading about any chapter, read the summary and the conclusion you can read, such that it may create how this conclusion has happened, where it started, how it ended. So these points, this curiosity will begin in you when you read end part of that particular text. So begin and end, read the conclusion, read summary, understand the vocabulary list which is given in that particular text, chapter questions and practice problems. So these are the very, very important elements which will also fetch your interest towards reading your textbook. Next, activate prior knowledge. What is this prior knowledge? When you are going to join in particular course, have an idea about the courses which are integrated in it. Pick a course. Understand what are the elements, what are the topics or the subtopics which are covered under that course. Activate prior knowledge. Don't just go and approach some course and join in without knowing it. You must be able to have interest to acquire all the needs of that course. If you are selecting a course which you are not interested in, then you are in the danger zone. You will never be able to understand how you are going to attain or cater the needs of the course which you are not interested in. So, try to have prior knowledge of the courses which you are trying to get into, which you are trying to do for all that 4 years, such that you will end up in a professional platform with good skills and abilities, with all the needed information and content. So, having prior knowledge is the vital point which you all have to remember before you are enrolling into any kind of course. Next, set a purpose. Now, you are selecting a course. For example, you are selecting computer science as your core element. What is the purpose? What is the goal that is making you to select that particular course? In what area you are interested in? Set a purpose. This is the purpose. I have selected this course and I am going to fulfill it with all my enthusiasm, with all my creativity, with all my interest. Be focused. Be accurate enough to understand the purpose and to understand the needs of that particular course which you are enrolling, such that when you are enrolling into that particular course, you will have interest into read those particular content or the textbooks which will cater the needs to develop your information and knowledge towards that particular entity. Next, make predictions. Right after previewing, make a prediction. What you think about this chapter or session is going to be. Now, predict. Have a preview. You had a preview. You have seen the picture. You have seen the vocabulary. You have seen the subtitles. You have seen the titles. You will have a notion about that, what that chapter is speaking. Now, predict. What is the information you could get from that chapter? You already have previewed. Check whether your prediction is true or not. This may be an activity. This may make you curious to read that text to see that your prediction is right or wrong. This way, you can develop the zeal, the enthusiasm to read that particular text. So, you must have all these characteristics in yourself to develop that interest towards the reading activity of your textbooks. Next, strategies while you read. Now, what did we do? We understood the strategy of previewing of the particular chapter or the text which is provided to you. Now, you are ready. Okay, you're ready to read. You have previewed the titles, you have previewed the subtitles, you have understood the diagrams, you have understood the vocabulary. Now you have a prediction over that particular content. Now, what are the strategies which will help you while reading? Let us see. First one, figure out the main idea. Try to figure out the view of the main idea while you are reading. What is that we are going to do? Focus on the first sentences and text features for main ideas of each paragraph. Focus on the topic sentences. The main idea will be rendered through the topic sentences of each paragraph. Okay, so try to figure out that main idea of the topic sentences of each paragraph of the chapter. Next, these often contain the main idea, isn't it? Next, use questions to find answers. Now, you already have done the preview. Okay, you have the prediction what that chapter is going to cater to you. Now, through the topic sentences, you have understood the main idea. Now, after doing all these things with all the interest, surely we'll have some questions in our mind. Why does this happen? Why is the writer using this particular word or this particular figure or this particular graph here? This kind of questions. So, convert major headings and topics into questions. See that headings and topics are converted into questions. So, if you have questions, then automatically you will have the zeal to find answers. So, there creates the interest in your text. Next, finish an entire session or page before taking notes. Don't just read one sentence and copy notes. One sentence, then copy notes. One sentence, no. Try to read the entire page. One page at least. And then try to jot down that main points which are spoken, which are given in that particular page. Such that it will help you finish that section. Such that you will understand and you will understand the procedure of presenting the information in a stepwise and in a logical manner. Next, try skimming. What is skimming? To attain the gist of the text. Try to skim the overall text and form the gist of that chapter such that while reading the entire text, you will have the idea of what points you are reading in that particular chapter. Next, generate questions. Only when you generate questions, you will have that interest, you will have that zeal, you will have that enthusiasm to make yourself explore towards all the information which will answer your questions which are moving around your head. So, try to generate more number of questions to acquire more knowledge and to gain more information of that particular text. Next, stop and summarize. Okay? No need to read entire chapter. For every page, you can understand, preview, skim and then make notes. Then finish your chapter. Then stop. Take a pause. Then summarize all the elements, all the notes, what you have read till then. Okay? In that way, reading your textbook content will be very, very helpful in catering the needs. It not only provides you the information and expands your knowledge, but also help you in developing your language skills and helps you in improving your communication skills. Now, keep it short. Always keep it short. Your gist must be short. It should not be pages and pages. If you are reading a chapter, if you are writing again your understanding in a chapter way, that will not make any sense. See that it is short. It is 5 to 10 pages, not more than that. See that you space your reading across the day and week as opposed to cramming. It is all a 1 hour session. Try to constrain yourself. Don't go on, read hours and hours. Take a break, take a pause. Try to understand what you have read. Make a gist of it. Jot down the important points. This will create that enthusiasm in you to understand and explore and research over the topics whichever you are trying to learn. Next, make connections. Okay, this will also make you interested towards your reading. Make connection. If you are reading a chapter here, you might have read something similar to it before. So try to make connections. Is it applicable to that situation also? Am I reading the same which I have read then? Isn't it? Making connections will help you creating more number of questions and also generates that enthusiasm in you to build over the efficiency reading towards the textbooks. Next, strategies after reading. Now we have previewed. In previewing, what is that we are going to do? We are previewing the graphs, the titles, the pictures, the subtitles, titles and the topics. Then while reading, we are focusing on the first topic sentences, then skimming the text, taking down the notes and summarizing it in short and also making connections towards the past or the future events. Now, after reading, what is that you're going to do? Revisit the chapter later. After reading, you revisit it later. Instead of rereading the chapter this time, focus on the main concepts. Now, you have not understood something. So, don't reread the chapter. After some, leave it there. Try to understand, instead of rereading, try to understand the main concepts discussed in that particular chapter. Make note of how content covered in class connects with the material in the chapter. You will be listening to the lectures of your professors, isn't it? So, try to connect that lecture with the content in the chapter of your textbook. Did I miss any point while my professor is addressing it? Isn't it? So, making connections with the lecture, what your professor has taught to you and trying to match it with the content in your textbook will surely enhance more number of questions and that will develop the zeal to find out the answers for your questions. In this way, it will be very, very helpful. Then, organize your thoughts. You have to organize your thoughts in a stepwise logical manner. Use tree diagrams, flow charts or graphs to present your memory. To present your memory of organizing all the information which has been equipped in that particular context. This technique will aid your attention. This will make you create your attention over the things which you have read while reading and also while previewing. Make flashcards. This is also one of the very good technique which will help you. Now see, create flashcards for key terms. Key terms are the key vocabulary, key words of that particular textbook entity of the chapter 1. Next, dates. Make flashcards of the dates or the people or the characters or the elements or the elements or the techniques which are provided in that chapter. Flashcards. Just make a card and write what it is. So that when you are again looking back to refresh your reading of that particular chapter, all this will be helpful to you to look and answer within a minute. It will not take. If you are making flashcards of each and every topic, each and every element in an organized way, when you are going back and seeing, you will find the answer instantly without any tedious effort. Next, utilize other sources. These are all the sources which will also help you in making any information more broader and helps you create in the zeal to read the textbooks efficiently. What are that? Academic coaching, learning center online tools, learning center workshops. So, always try to utilize Connect with your textbook while you are moving towards in a course of learning something, expanding your knowledge. Don't think that reading textbook is a tedious job. It is useless thing. You can just browse through internet and find the information in some 4 or 5 bullet points and cater the needs of your examination. No. To have broader knowledge, to equip the technicality, to understand the importance of the professional needs, you must have the habit of reading your textbook efficiently, because it is only your textbook that will fetch your purpose and also make you focus on that very important elements which will help you in understanding your course. Now see, what is that your textbooks help you in? See, what is this about? You will understand what is this about, what is the course is about, what is that you are going to learn. Next, what does this word mean? You will know the meaning of the word through the textbooks. Next, wow, that's controversial. Maybe you will have the zeal to the exposure of the things which will amaze you, which will surprise you, and which will create interest in you to learn more and more. Okay? Next, is this relevant to my research? If you are taking up a topic, is this textbook helping me to understand the topic which is relevant to me in the research? Next, hey, that's a flawed argument. That means even sometimes you will find something which is not right. You can also have the interest of solving that problem. Why? If this is a false statement, is it included in the textbook? Why? What is the reason? What? You will have that notion of creating answer to the questions which will imposed in your brain, which will be created in your brain instinctively while reading the textbooks. Next, wow, this is a great quote. Of course, there are many philosophers, many scholars who have made the books with all their great knowledge. Maybe some quote will change your life. Maybe it will give you that motivation to create your research more better. So all these elements are the very purposeful elements to make yourself more professional and gain all that knowledge towards your course entity. Now, 5-step active reading method. Now we have 5-step active reading method which will help you to read your textbooks efficiently. What is that? Survey. That is, have a preview, have a survey of what you are going to understand, read or to gain information. Next, question. Question. Why is this happen here? Why? When? What? How? All these things must be developed. Then read. Read to attain the answers to the questions you have formulated. Next, recall. Revise what all you have done. What does your survey show? What are the questions you got arose? And what are the answers you have understood from the reading? These are all the revision can be done. Next, review. Finally, review again. Did all the needs of your information are catered or not? In this way, you can make interest, create interest in reading your textbooks efficiently. Try to follow these strategies such that you will read your textbooks efficiently and make your course overwhelming with a successful colors. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.